Hi, welcome back to the channel Tarot Yogi. I'm Vinit. I read tarot intuitively, and today we have another really special timeless pick a card reading. And today's pick a card reading is really special because it's a collaboration between Marion Mars Tarot and me. She's an amazing, talented reader. I love her readings. I would say she's pretty accurate with all her readings. So please do go head over to her channel, go show her lots of love, go subscribe to her, go binge watch all her contents, and let her know you came from Tarot Yogi. And today's reading, it's going to be how do women see you. That's what I'm going to be covering. And Marion Mars Tarot, she's going to be covering how men see you. So definitely go to her channel, go binge watch all her readings, go show her lots of love. And having said that, we have three piles to choose from. Pile number one, we have the Protector card. Pile number two, we have the Emperor. Pile number three, we have the King of Wands card. So take a minute, see what pile is being called to you intuitively. The description box below will have the timestamp for your pile. And again, remember, these are general readings, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot to help the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go head over to Marion Mars Tarot channel. Please go check out all her readings, go show her lots of love, and I will see you guys in your reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number one. If you chose the Protector card, this is your reading on how do women see you, and this is a collaboration between Marion Mars Tarot and me. So please do go check out her reading where she's covering how do men see you. I will link her YouTube handle and the link to her video in the description box below. So please do go head over to her channel, go show her lots of love, go subscribe to her, go binge watch all her readings. And having said that, we'll jump into the reading. So we're asking angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended master, star family today. How do women see my pile number ones? Okay, pile number one, we have 5 of Wands, 3 of Wands, Queen of Cups, 8 of Discs, 2 of Swords, Judgment, 3 of Swords, 10 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and we have the Protector card, which is the Empress card in this deck. So it doesn't matter if you're male, female, anything in the middle, you know. I think a lot of women sort of look up to you because you are in this very sort of divine feminine energy. You know, you're very loving, you're very compassionate. This is something women love about you. And I think especially other women who are not very comfortable or haven't exactly had the privilege to be comfortable in their femininity, they sort of look up to you in a way, you know. So there's a sense of putting you on a pedestal by other women especially. And you know, even if you're a man, you know, I think a lot of women look up to you because you really have that sort of a very motherly, nurturing nature to you, even if you're a guy over here, you know. So you're very much in your divine feminine energy, and a lot of women sort of look up to you in a way to sort of validate their own femininity. So, you know, you could very much like be hyper feminine, you know, you don't have to be, but maybe just how you go about doing things is very feminine. But having said that, you're like a warrior princess, you're like a warrior queen, pile number one. And I'm saying that because, you know, we have the 5 of Wands and we have the 6 of Wands sort of ending the reading, you know. So you're a trailblazer, like I said, you know. You are like that person who a lot of people want to be like, but can't really be like you because, you know, you're really like one of a kind, you know. And you're not like an ordinary person, I would say. Even if you have like a very ordinary job, you know, you're not like super ordinary, you know. You have this very sort of like this special aura about you, you know, and people can sense that, you know. People definitely sense your auric field, and a lot of people even like coming close to you is what I'm feeling, you know. But despite any sort of conflicts, you always win. You always win, and you always even win when you're not winning, you know. You're very blessed also, and this is something other women really see about you as well. But that does not take away from the fact that you are like a very hard worker, you know. You're definitely a very hard worker, and there are a lot of lions on this cards, you know. So you could very much be a Leo, or you could have some prominent Leo placements, or you know, even if you're not a Leo, you have this very Leo sort of way about going and doing things, you know. You're very fixed in your identity, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. You sort of understand how important it is to project a certain kind of identity to maybe get things done, you know. So you're not afraid of being unliked by people, you know. You're not here to be liked by everyone, pile number one. And I think you understand that, and I think you're just very comfortable in who you are. And a lot of people who aren't comfortable in who they are, or they don't know themselves, they might find you super, super triggering, I feel, you know. And, with you, I really feel there's the sense of putting you on a pedestal. So I don't think a lot of people see what you do behind the scenes. Even if I feel a lot of y'all may even be in the public eye in some sort of way, So people only see the finished product when you give it to them. People don't really see all the hard work that you're doing consistently behind the scenes. They don't see you suffer. They don't see you struggle. They do not see you like being confused, any of that. They do not see you like have a heartbreak. So you're very you very much understand your place in society. I really want to say, and this is something women really like pay attention to, and in a way you also very indirectly like inspire other women and sort of show them a way to like go about doing things, you know but women also find you very, very attractive. We have a lot of wands over here, so they definitely find you super, super attractive. And I think the thing about you that is really attractive is you're not going to like just stick it up to anybody. You are your own person, and you don't really care about fitting in, and you're very much okay sacrificing certain things at the expense to be yourself. So a lot of people who are perhaps maybe closeted on the down low, something like that, you might even really inspire them, especially if there are other women who are like into women, something like that. So you're very, very attractive to a lot of people also, is something I want to say. And I think a lot of people, especially if they've had the privilege of being around you for a very, very long time, or they've seen you growing up, they see how much you have transformed. You're very, very transformative, and we have a lot of fire energy here as well. So, you have been baptized by fire very, very often. You have been completely reduced. You've been burned down like alchemically, so to speak, and then, you're able to revive yourself. And you're able to sort of even have like the sense of soul retrieval, I want to say. You don't let trauma really keep you stuck. You really keep it moving, and you understand that it is only through transformation do you come to your highest being. So there is a lot of inspiration around you. You are definitely a muse to a lot of people, and especially to a lot of women. And I don't even think you realize this, pile number one, about yourself. Because despite you sort of having really battled things, and I feel you've battled a lot of things in your own personal life. A lot of things haven't been exactly how you plan for it to turn, plan for it to like be. But despite that, you make necessary changes and you keep it moving. And like I said, you come victorious regardless of what happens. Even if someone perceives you to have a certain weakness, or even if someone perceives you to have lost, even that loss for you is a benefit. And I feel this is something a lot of women may even sometimes envy about you. Like you may have gotten out of like some really crappy relationships, and things could have been much worse, right? So and you come off as very, very grateful. I think a lot of people look at you, and they can see that you're genuinely happy and you're genuinely grateful about where you are in your life right now. You're not upset. At least you don't show when you get upset to a lot of people anymore. But you definitely have a lot of depth. A lot of people intuit the kind of depth you have, because you are very, very deep. We have the Queen of Cups, and she has a lot of depth behind her. She has a whole ocean behind her. So people can tell that you have this ability to maybe go into, the depths, go into the abyss, and bring out certain jewels for everyone. So you are a healer also, pile number one. And I don't think a lot of people understand why they gravitate towards you. But it is because they sort of want to be healed by just being in your presence, by being in your aura. And for a lot of y'all, I feel time to time you like to like go off and have your own personal time. So I think it's all about finding balance for you. And another thing women really sort of admire about you is, like I said, even if you're going through something very, very difficult, you're not going to make an identity out of it, and you're not going to stay stuck from that trauma. You're going to really use that trauma, and you're going to heal, and you're going to help other people heal, and you could very much even help people transmute energies over here. You could be a tarot reader or something along those lines, or astrologer, yoga teacher. You're very good with energy, and you're very, very hardworking. So whatever you put your hands to, you're going to win. And you're defensive about the right things. I think you have this very motherly energy, like I said. You have this super motherly energy, so you will defend people, you know who need it. You're not going to conform just because everyone does. And this is something that really sets you apart. And even if you don't even if you're not trying to be an inspiration, you somehow just end up being an inspiration to people. And it's not even something you're trying to do, pile number one. It's just who you are. And I think, pile number one, let me just say this. I definitely see you struggling with boundaries. I think, even if you're not a people pleaser, you still struggle with boundaries because you really love to help. And sometimes you will like feel depleted just by helping so many people, and not taking that time out for yourself. Like I said, time to time, I feel you do need that time off. You do need that time to yourself. And when you don't get it, you don't mind sacrificing yourself. So I think the lesson here is to really like not take other people's burdens. I think that is really, really the message over here. And let me tell you, as a tarot reader, you know like, you cannot just help everyone. Yes, you can even give messages to people, but at the end of the day, it's upon the person to do something about it, right? And you cannot like take the water to the river and make it drink, right? So you have to understand that you cannot cure everyone's suffering. And I think you need to understand that. And on top of that, you also need to understand the fact that even if you're not able to help, it doesn't mean the world is going to not spin, right? The world is still going to spin. Things are still going to go on regardless. So I think perhaps what you also need to do is you need to perhaps check yourself as to why you're overextending yourself, especially when you need that time to yourself, right? So I think that is some self-love you have to work on. But despite this, it is it's almost like your sacred duty to be of service. And I see you do it very diligently. You're not going to really throw people under the bus. You're not selfish. You're very selfless, and this is something people love about you, especially women. Pile number one, I also feel you're very good at just like digging to the core of any sort of situation, or challenge, and really like extracting the wisdom from it. And I feel you are very, very compassionate, and I don't think you have just become compassionate overnight. I think the compassion you have, it is something you have grown, like a tree. It's all your own experiences that have got you to this place of even being able to heal other people. you know so you need to understand that things do happen for a deeper reason, even if you're not able to always see that for yourself. And you have to understand that any sort of conflict, look at it as a challenge. Look at it as a way to grow, because that's what it is. Because you're a trailblazer, and you're going to overcome any and every conflict put on your path, just for your soul's growth. So I would say what you need to do is you need to really positively gaslight yourself into really knowing that you are the best at what you do, because you truly are pile number one. And I feel a lot of you are very perhaps alone or lonely in this pile. So just know that you do have the right people coming in, who will not drain you, but, in fact, add to your life and add to your own inner richness. But in order for that to happen, I do feel a lot of y'all need to maybe go out more, put yourself out there more, because you definitely have this energy of, being seen. You're meant to be seen, pile number one. So don't try to run away from it. Don't try to say that, oh, you just want a simple life or something. You're not meant for a simple life, pile number one, even if you feel that way. you know and you have to understand that even your specialness has a deeper purpose than what you realize. And I know this is a how women see you kind of reading, but I do feel this is very, very relevant to you, pile number one, because you know in a way you are a trailblazer, and you're also helping a lot of people on the way, especially women. You're also helping a lot of people, pile number one, to get more comfortable in their feminine ways. So keep trailblazing, because that's what you're supposed to do. And I also want you to know that any and every sort of love that you put out into the world, it will always find its way back to you. So don't for a minute think that what you're trying to do doesn't have any value. It has inherent value. What you have to say has a lot of value, and you're really meant to inspire people, in whatever way you choose to go about it. Pile number one. Any other messages? Shuffle some oracle. How do women see my pile number one? We have two cards. We have the servant card and we have the blank card. The servant card reads light attributes, delight in serving others with a free and a loving heart. Shadow attribute, using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. So, pile number one, I think the biggest issue with you is, like I said, boundaries. You're not able to understand where you're overextending yourself and where you're choosing to not love yourself. And you have to learn to not be a martyr and still help people, so and it's very interesting. We have the blank card, so a lot of people, you are a mirror to them. You reflect back to people the good and the bad within them, and they don't always like what they see, right? People are not always as self-aware as probably you are. So you have to not take it personally. I think that is also a lesson, and I think you also need to understand that bad people do exist. That there are some leeches and roaches that you just cannot do anything about. So let garbage be garbage. But and don't try to analyze why they are the way they are. That is their karma. What your karma is to still be of service to people, because that's who you are. You are a giver, but also you have to find that balance where you're first giving to yourself. The cup will overflow when it is filled enough, right? It's not going to overflow when it is empty. So you need to understand this, and you have to understand that if you're not able to help yourself, then you don't need to help other people. First, you need to help yourself, and only then, you will be in a position to help other people, because you are a healer. And having said that, I don't want to like make this a paradox, but you also only heal when you're able to help other people and heal other people on the way. That's how you heal in the process. And that's what I'm saying as a tarot reader. So find that delicate balance where you're still able to give and be of service, but still keep certain things for yourself. So I think finding that balance for you is really the key to even unlocking more like spiritual abilities and just ways to help people, and even abundance over here. Because your legacy is going to be healing and helping people in whatever way you choose to go about it. It's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everyone, but I think that is still the message over here. And I feel a lot of y'all will be able to even generate an income and some stability out of helping people. So don't think it's not going to come back to you. It will, and even expect it to come back to you. So keep doing what you're doing, because you're like killing it. In fact, take some time out for yourself, pile number one, because I feel that is also very, very important over here. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number. Once again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go check out the second part of this reading, which is a collaboration between 𝐻𝐈𝐿 Mars Tarot and me. She's covering how do men see you. So please do go head over to her channel. I will link her channel in the description box below, and I will link her YouTube handle in the title of this video. So please do go head over to her channel, go show her lots of love. She's an amazing tarot reader, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number two. If you chose the Emperor card, this is your reading on how do women see you, and this is a collaboration between 𝐻𝐈𝐿 Mars Tarot and me. So please do go check out the second part of this reading, which she's covering on how do men see you. Go to her channel, go show lots of love to her, go subscribe to her, and go binge watch all her content. And having said that, we're going to jump into the reading today, which is how do women see you. So angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended master, star family, help me tap into how do women see my pile number twos. We thank you for these clear, concise, and accurate messages. We thank you for always guiding us, especially when we need it the most. How do women see my pile number twos? Okay, pile number two, we have the Emperor, we have Nine of Cups, Five of Swords, Queen of Wands, Two of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Fool, King of Wands, and we have Three of Pentacles. So we have a lot of fire cards. We have Two of Wands, King and Queen of Wands, and we have the Emperor, So men see you as very, very powerful. They see you as someone who's very, very passionate about whatever you choose to do over here. Pile number one, pile number two, it's a general reading, so all of y'all are going to be doing different things. But women see you as super, super passionate, and you may have certain messages maybe in pile number one. But whether you're male, female, anything in the middle, women see you as being super, super masculine. You're very much in your divine masculine energy over here, and you're a trailblazer, but in a more extroverted way. Pile number one was trailblazing in their own sort of world. You're more extroverted is what I'm picking up. Even if you're a girl, the way other women look at you, you know you're probably the kind of girl who like plays sports. And I'm not like trying to stereotype or anything, but I'm just saying you have this sort of masculine way of going about doing things. You may probably like to watch sports perhaps, or you may play video games or something like that, or you may just hang out around a lot of guys. So you definitely have that sort of masculine appeal to you, which to a lot of women is very attractive, even if you are a woman. And obviously if you're a guy, you're very much in your like traditional divine masculine alpha energy, which is obviously super attractive to a lot of women. And you're very, very passionate and you're very fiery. People see that you're a very, very well planner. You're very good at executing things, and you're very good at getting whatever you put your mind to. You're a good planner. You're very decisive, and you always get what you want. We have Nine of Cups, so you succeed at most things you do, and this is something obviously a lot of women find super, super attractive about you. But despite having said that, you're not someone who's scared of fighting. And I do feel you are a little aggressive, pile number two. And I guess a lot of people who are in their feminine energy, they would really like someone like you, because you have this sense of really protecting people around you, especially the people you love, especially women, things like that. So a lot of women look at you as this protective force that they would want to be around. You have that sort of commanding presence about you. You make people feel safe in a very masculine kind of way. And a lot of women do find you super attractive. We have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, she's the most attractive of the queens. She's the most passionate, and she's a hottie, right? So a lot of women look at you like that. They see you as a catch, definitely. And with the Five of Swords, like I said, you're not going to like stand down from an argument. You're going to go in for it. And you can be very ruthless with your words. You really understand the power of words. So like I do feel you have like a lot of girls sort of cheering you on also. you know whether you're a girl, guy, anything in the middle. Women really like that. You can debate, if it comes to that. And you can debate in a very cool sort of way. You don't have to scream and shout to get your point across. You can be even a little sassy, which is obviously something people enjoy about you. And you have this very hands-on way of going about things. Maybe you learn by very hands-on kind of ways. Maybe you're someone who like learns by doing something physical. You could learn by seeing things, hearing things. Maybe you're not so much into books, but you have this very tactile approach to things, which also works for you. And women really look at you as a commander. You command things, and you have a sense of mastery over things as well. And you are a natural born leader, so you will take care of any and everyone in the group. You're not going to necessarily like outcast anyone. You are very loving, and I would say even very tolerant. And I think you've had your fair share of difficulties. And I feel you have been abandoned a lot, pile number two. And it's sort of been a lesson for you to come to a place of understanding that no one can abandon you unless you abandon yourself. And I think that's where your protectiveness also comes from, because somewhere you felt you weren't as protected. Hence you have this sort of very calming and protective nature about you to people that you really love. So there is this sense of you trying to save yourself through maybe saving other people, and that is something maybe you need to look into as a shadow side of yourself. But having said that, you know you genuinely love people, and it can be very much seen in what you do. And pile number two, I'm getting you're more of a doer. You like to do things instead of just saying things. You're not a talker. You get things done. And this is something a lot of women really admire about you. Women may not say this to you, but I think a lot of women like other women or men who get things done. So when you are doing that, when you're like being helped 50-50, they will really be appreciative of that. So keep doing that. Like help women, especially like reduce their burdens. And I see you do that over here. So just keep doing that is the message. And like I said, you have a very hands-on way of learning. So you would be very good at even like teamwork, because you're good at like handling people. And another thing women like about you is I think you have this you have a bit of a darkness to you, and it's not even darkness. You have this sense of danger about you, which I think a lot of women also find exciting. You're very adventurous. You're always ready to jump and do new things. I think you're the person who like makes the plans to like do something crazy. So you know and I think a lot of women even expect you to sort of lead the way. you know so that's very much the message over here. And like I said, you're very good at working with people. You're a great collaborator. I think a lot of people enjoy working with you, because you are very understanding, you're very logical, and you have a way of just making anyone and everyone feel super comfortable around you. Even if people like don't have a lot of things to give or whatever. You're not materialistic, and definitely not stuck up. And I think women even enjoy your sense of humor. I think you're very, very funny. And I think a lot of women do enjoy your sense of humor. I don't think you have like, yeah, like I was saying, I think a lot of women enjoy your sense of humor, and you really do have that humorous nature to you. You don't take life very, very seriously, even if you go through difficult things. You always find a way to joke about it, which is a sign of healing. And I think you may even help people at times and catch them off guard by just joking about some really dark things. So that is something, again, women really admire about you. Especially women who are more in their feminine energy. Women also see you as someone who's very, very magical. You could be a little witchy. You have healing abilities, and like I said, you're very good at energy work. So tai chi, yoga, things like that. You would be great at breath work, meditation. And I do feel you have this sort of restless energy which you need to ground at times. So I think doing these practices will help you be more powerful, if that makes sense. Because you will be more centered in who you are. And I do sense that you're very comfortable with your identity. You sort of understand how identity works. But you know you're meant to heal a lot of people too. In whichever way you go about healing people, you're meant to heal people as well. And you're meant to heal people with like laughter also, is what I'm really picking up over here. But like I said, people love working with you as well. You're like a great co-worker. You're a great collaborator. People enjoy what you have to say, what you have to give. So I think you're just admired overall by a lot of women. Pile number 2. Shuffle some oracle. So we have 3 cards. We have the victim, we have virgin, and we have queen. Victim reads, prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. So pile number 2, sorry, you may have certain messages in pile number 2. In pile number 1, I mean, but pile number 2, what I'm really getting over here is you really help people get out of like this victim mentality. And I think a lot of people see how you have really fought your way to where you are right now, and how you are like a living example of, you don't let yourself be defined by circumstances or things that happen to you or where you come from. So you really help a lot of people get out of this sort of mentality. And I was having difficulty speaking just a minute ago, and I feel you help people vocalize their needs that they're not always honest about themselves with. So I feel that is something a lot of women really like admire about you. And this girl on this card, she's kind of sad. So you are that friend that is really uplifting. And we have the virgin card, which reads, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, fear of intimate union. So but I think it's more on the light attribute, which is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. So you have this very childlike nature to you. Even if you've seen dark things, you're not someone who gives off that vibe as someone who has seen or gone through a lot. I think you're purposely deceiving to people at times because you only want people to see like a light-hearted side of you, and you sort of see that it is sort of your weapon to even heal people. So keep doing what you're doing, and you're very much balanced. We have the Queen of Wands, and we had the King of Wands, and we have the Queen card again. We have Queen, which reads radiates the regal feminine, uses her benevolent authority to protect others. You know, you even if you are a woman, the way other women look at you as a trailblazer, a very strong woman, a woman in her masculinity. But even if you are a woman in her masculine ways, your masculinity is very balanced with your feminine, and you sort of understand the sort of duality and polarity of things, how we have like a light goddess and a dark goddess, right? Like how we have Durga and Kali, so you're very balanced that way. You have these multiple facets to you, and even if you have to be in your emperor energy, you're still a queen, and I think a lot of women see you as that, even if you are like maybe working in the military or something like that, but it's obviously like a very specific message, it may not resonate with everyone, but despite of what you do, you have this sense of regalness, and you have this sense of balance about you, and you have a very fiery and a very passionate energy, like you burn very bright, and I think a lot of times you're not even trying to attract attention or hate or jealousy, you're just trying to like be yourself. But it's like moth to a flame, and you are the flame, pile number two, so you can't do anything about it but just keep shining bright and keep shining consistently, because the queen energy, it's more about inner mastery, it's more about learning to maintain that sort of fire within, which is, I would say, a very difficult thing to do. Queen of Wands, she's the watery part of fire, it's very polarizing, her energy, but she knows how to sustain her inner fire. So this is something that is very, very powerful about you, and I think even if you're a man, you are in this sort of energy, and women really look up to you, and they really admire this about you, how the way you can like consistently protect and keep your fire burning. You could even use your abilities for good, like I said, very much helping people over here. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number twos. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. It helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below, so you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go head over to Marion Mars's tarot channel, where she's covering the second part of this reading on how do men see you. Please go to her channel, subscribe to her, go show her lots of love, and go binge watch all her content. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Thank you. Hello, pile number three. If you chose the King of Wands card, this is your reading on how do women see you, and this is a collaboration between Marion Mars Tarot and me, and she's going to be covering how do men see you. So please do go head over to her channel, go subscribe to her, go show her lots of love, go check out all her videos. And having said that, I'm going to be covering how do women see you. So angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended master, star family, help me tap into how do women see my pile number threes. We thank you for these clear, concise, and accurate messages. We thank you for always guiding us, especially when we needed them most. Okay, pile number three, we have King of Wands. Then we have Sire of Swords, which is King of Swords, Hierophant, the Emperor, Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, Six of Swords, and we have Sire of Wands, which is like a double King of Wands. So let's start with the obvious. We have two King of Wands, and that is just a very clear indication as to just the prowess of your leadership abilities. You are a natural born leader, pile number three, and whether you're male, female, anything in the middle, a lot of women look up to you for leadership. You have this very balanced nature to you. We have Queen of Pentacles and we have King of Wands twice with King of Swords. So you're very intelligent, you're very articulate, and you're very charismatic, and you definitely have some nerve and talent, and I would say you're meant to even create stability out of these talents that you have been given. So a lot of y'all could be in the public eye, a lot of y'all could be tarot readers, astrologers, or be some content creator of any kind. But you're supposed to create a lot of your stability out of your talents. A lot of y'all could be singers, rappers, dancers, whatever you do, pile number three, you're supposed to be very, very creative, and I would say you're very, very balanced. Your feminine and your masculine is very balanced. within each other. I'm getting the image of the rebus, so you're very balanced, and you know when to use your masculine side and when to use your feminine side to get what you want, you know. So a lot of people may think of you as being manipulative, but I don't think you're manipulative. You just read the room very, very well, and you know how to optimize things to get the best results, and a lot of women do look up to you, the King of Swords over here, he's on a pedestal, and so is the King of Wands, and you definitely are in the public eye in some way, shape, form. Or if you're not yet, this is your sign to like really get ready and just embrace your destiny, which is to lead people, and I don't think a lot of y'all want to like want to lead people. I think a lot of y'all just want to get through the day, and that is what exactly makes you the perfect leader. We need more people who are idealistic. You are you love to romanticize things. Pile number 3, women definitely see this about you. You have a very ideal way of doing things, and you have this very protective nature to you as well. So women can see how idealized you are in just your workings. You could very much even be in your own bubble at times, but that you do not let that hold you back in any sort of way, if at all. You're someone who's very, very comfortable being uncomfortable for long periods of time, and this is something women again really, really admire about you. We have the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands becomes the King of Wands. So you do not let yourself be held back by fear. You feel the fear and you still do whatever needs to be done with a lot of courage. You're quite literally a dragon. You definitely have that. You have that fire within you, and it's not just fire within you. You have this ability to help other people also ignite their own inner fire, and I feel a lot of y'all are meant to help a lot of other people ignite their own fire in whichever way you choose to go about it. And this is something women really love about you, and we had very similar cards in pile number 2, so you may have some messages there. If you were attracted, please check it out. But we also have the Emperor over here, so like I said, you're very balanced in your masculine and your feminine. So if you have to protect your kingdom and be the man, you're going to be the man, metaphorically, obviously. So you're not someone who's afraid of battle. You will in fact charge right into battle if the need be. And you're definitely driven by your own cause. You're definitely driven by your own sense of truth, your own sense of personal truth. I think that is something that really, really drives you. And I think this is something a lot of women even admire about you, and you are someone who has gone through your own fair share of transformations. You're not like you are right now. You haven't been always like that. You have worked your way up to be where you are right now. So, you very much deserve everything that you have, and you're gonna be blessed with even more abundance, I feel. And a lot of y'all are great collaborators. So I think a lot of women love working with you. Whether you're a content creator or a co-worker, whatever you do, people love to work with you, especially women. Even if you're a guy, you are like super attractive to a lot of women because you're like the full package. I think that's how like women would maybe describe you to their friends, like he's a 10, or she's a 10 or something like that. So and you have this divine wisdom to you as well. I think a lot of people may say that you have like an old soul, and so yeah, I do feel you do have like an old soul. And I feel you have been around for a while on this earth, and you have this way of channeling all this ancient wisdom, and all of a sudden I was out of breath. So I do feel you have a very sharp mind, which may even work against you at times. And I feel you do get overwhelmed by things, but it is happening for a deeper reason, because pile number 3, I feel you especially are meant to have an audience. You're meant to be, like I said, in the public eye, and in whichever way you choose to go about it. What you have to say has inherent value, and a lot of people need to hear what you have to say. You're supposed to help a lot of people liberate themselves. You're supposed to help people really light that fire within them, and you are the kind of leader that shows people how can they lead in their own sort of way, or over their own dominion, and like I said, you are the right kind of leader because you're not obsessed with leadership. You're not so power hungry, and you understand that power is equal to responsibility. In fact, power is equal to a lot of responsibility, and you you help people in a way that people aren't codependent on you. They become very autonomous, you know so you're very hell-bent on people getting the freedom in whichever way, and you love showing people that how it's a possibility. And you especially, you lead by example, right? So having said that, I do feel you are a little stubborn. You can be very headstrong at times about certain things that you want, and how you want to go about them. You're very like particular. And like I said, a lot of women see you as very fertile, especially if you're a guy. A lot of women are into you, and they would really like want to get with you, and like be like a baby mama to you. But again, it's a very specific message, so. But yeah, women do find you super attractive, and they would love to like have babies with you. That is something they definitely think about. And again, I'm not gonna make it like an 18+ reading, but there is a lot of physical attraction here towards you. So you definitely have a lot of people, women who are like into you physically, and like I said, you've gone through your own fair share of difficulties, so it doesn't come off as a surprise. Maybe it does come off as a surprise to some people who only see like a certain side of you, because that's the only sort of image you're choosing to project that day. But you do have a lot of depth to you, and you will fight to death, especially for people you love. And this is something, again, women really admire about you. And I would say, pile number 3, you do have like a savior complex to a great extent. And I think a lot of women enjoy this, especially women that are more in their feminine energy. I think they really enjoy how you lead the way. You're probably the person who makes the dinner reservations. You're the one who makes the plans. You're very onto things. You have this very cardinal sign energy about you of just getting things done. And you always just know what to say, the right thing to say to people. So I think a lot of people even come to you for advice. A lot of people come to you to like maybe like have a second opinion on something, because people really value your words. I feel, pile number 3, and women admire this about you, definitely. And like I said, your courage is something women really admire, because like I said, you're not going to back off, you're not going to back down. You're not going to just be okay with any sort of atrocity and comply. You will revolt, and you will fight. So this is something, again, I would say a lot of women really admire about you, because they feel very protected around you. And they just know that if you would be into them in some way, that they would be like well taken care of. So like I said, you are very individualistic. You are your own person, and I think you even enjoy that. And for some reason, I'm getting motorcycles in my head, so maybe that has some relevance in this reading. But you know, you have this very free spirited nature to you. I'm seeing like a motorcycle on a highway, so you definitely have this very free spirited vibe to you, which a lot of people want some of that. People want to be as free as you, because I don't think a lot of people are as open as you might be about certain things, about even maybe your sexuality. So people really look up to you in that sense, and you're just admired through and through, pile number 3. It's all good stuff. People really love being around you, and there are a lot of people that do look up to you. So, and I know it can get very stressful at times, but I feel this is a kind of stress you can manage. You're a lot tougher than you think you are. You have deep reserves of energy and patience and power that only you can access when you feel you just can't go on anymore. So don't ever underestimate yourself, and don't ever stop, because you are one of a kind. And I would say people like you are really needed right now in the world to do some good, because you're very driven by your heart. And this is again something women really sort of admire about you. How you will protect your ideals if it really comes down to that. Shuffle some oracle. So we have 5 cards. We have storyteller, thief, dilettante, don Juan, and we have advocate. So storyteller reads ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Like I said, word is very, very big. So a lot of y'all could be tarot readers, astrologers, some content creator of some kind on YouTube, or you could have like a lifestyle blog, a fashion blog, makeup, something like that. But you're meant to be articulate, you're meant to speak, and you have a very beautiful way of storytelling. So you could even do story times or something like that. So I feel If you don't do something like that, if you are a content creator of some kind, I don't think you share a lot of personal things. And I think people, being super nosy, I think people want you to maybe share more of yourself. But again, it's going to be a very specific message to someone in this pile. But people just love how you can like come up with these beautiful stories and anecdotes. And we have the thief card, which reads sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And the shadow attribute reads stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. So I think a lot of people may do like copy you because you are like very stylized, you're very one of a kind, there's no one like you, no one dresses like you, no one talks like you. So a lot of people may try to like copy your swag, they may try to copy your vibe, but it's your energy, pile number 3. So you have nothing to worry about, don't worry about being plagiarized because, people can tell. People can always tell, pile number 3. And we have dilettante, which reads light attributes, delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. So I feel you are a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none, but which is still better than a master of one, right? So I do feel you have like your hands in a lot of different parts. Even if you're not like super creative, you could like be a curator or something of some kind, but you're very much around creative things, even if you're in the more business, the more technical aspects of those things, But again, it's going to be different for all of y'all, But the point here is you can be very technical when the need be, and you always have this tendency of finding different ways to express yourself. So you're not going to be the kind of artist that is going to be stuck with one kind of medium. You're going to be super experimental about it, and you're going to be more. You're going to be like a fairy jumping from one flower to another, basically. And we have Don Juan, which reads spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. So there is a lot of attraction. There is a lot of physical attraction. Let's just keep it to that, And we have advocate, which reads inspires you to put compassion into action. Shadow, embracing negative causes or committing to cause for personal gain. So, like I said, your compassion has grown because of the kind of experiences you've had, and not anyone and everyone can tell the kind of things you've gone through, which has really literally shaped you. But you also have this way of extracting wisdom for yourself and for people from like very difficult situations, and you can definitely be an advocate for people. You definitely have a voice. So if you feel that there has been certain injustice, you're going to talk. You best believe are going to talk, pile number 3. And I think this is something, again, women really admire about you because just how vocal you can be at times whenever it's really needed. Any other messages? Yeah, that's all I have for pile number 3. Again, it's a general reading, so please take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you like my style of reading, please like this video, share, subscribe, comment. It means a lot, it helps the channel grow. And if you want to reach out for a private reading, you can definitely do that. My email ID and my Instagram handle are given in the description box below. So you can definitely reach out for a private reading. And please do go head over to 𝐻𝐼𝐿 on Mars Tarot, go to her channel, check out the reading where she did How Do Men See You, go subscribe to her, go binge watch all her readings. She's an amazing tarot reader, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Thank you.